What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday for me. What we're going to cover today, guys, this video is all about more about absorption on the footprint, how we're going to analyze more or less a passive absorption and what that looks like on the tape, how you can analyze it, how you can feel confident in what your eyes are seeing, and how you can come to decisions based on what you're seeing. And basically, absorptions is actually, let's go through the list here. So what are we going to cover? Absorption recap. Yes, we're going to focus on passive absorption. Okay, how to see it. Okay, how to see it start. Engagement is a pretty critical thing. How to call the top or bottom. Okay, when business is done. And analyzing the prints. This won't be too long of a video, but let me just take my hat off one sec here. It's hot in here, man. The AC going, but man, it's so hot outside. This won't be a terribly long video, but we're gonna look at some examples and just kind of walk our way through the tape on a live replay. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what to look for. Okay, and you're gonna see this time and time and time and time and time again. All right. Now, what is passive absorption? Okay, so for me, this is just how I view it. Some people may disagree with me, but this is exactly what I teach and exactly what I see happen 15 times a day on the tape. Doesn't matter what auction I'm watching. Doesn't matter. For this reason, we're going to watch the MNQ because the volume is much bigger on the micros than the mini, so you can see it even more pronounced. So what is it? For me, it's when we are either going up or down. In this case, we're going to replay, we're going up. Sellers are going to take over the auction, take everything that's there, and we're going to reverse the auction. So what does it look like? Okay, we're trading up. Like, look at this bar that just closed right here. Everybody at this point is like, let's go, baby. Right? Let's go. Let's go. We're going up. This thing's about to break out to new highs. We're going to go. Right, lows are in, consolidated there. But as we move up, okay, we're moving, we're going up in this case. What you're going to see is the prints look fairly normal, and then boom, at some point, you're going to see this big engagement. And by engagement, you're going to see it on the tape. That size is going to increase, right? And it doesn't look like it normally, and when it pushes up, the buy side is pretty strong in balance to the buy side, positive delta on every rung that we go up, but on all of a sudden, the offer on the offer side starts matching it very closely. Okay, they're really tricky on how they do this. They start matching the contract size that's being transacted there. In this case, it's going to be a, what are we doing here? 40 tick. So 40 tick, each one of these bars is about a 40 tick. Every 40 ticks, they start matching the amount of buying that's coming in. They usually come up behind it, right? Why do they do that? They match just enough so the auction can keep going higher. Okay? Why? Because if they just stand there and sell 15,000 contracts, it's going to be too obvious on the tape. So they distribute just enough so price keeps going up. But what they're doing is they are taking all of the inventory that's there. Everyone who's buying, they're selling just enough not to stop it from going out, not to stop it from going up, but they are taking on a bulk of the inventory, probably like 90% of it. They're selling, but then once it hits like that 85-90% of stops, and then it moves up a little bit higher, and then they take on another 85-95%, then it's like 90%, and then it's very tricky how they do it. And this is why I only watch the footprint. Because at the end of the day, they have to transact. This is the most important thing. They have to transact. And if you can analyze by how they try to hide it, then you have an edge, right? And the only reason I know this is because I've watched thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of tape, right? I've taught traders. We've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of webinars over the last 4 years. Okay? If you want to come learn, There's a free side to the Discord. You just come and drop in, man. You'll get me in the morning. You'll get my daily plan. You'll get these levels laid out for you, everything. I give you a ton of stuff for free, right? Come in, check it out. No cost to you, whatever. You like what you see, you want to join the real pros on the other side, you get access to algorithms, levels, whole bunch of more really cool coded stuff. Cool. But for now, come on in the free side. Come hang out, right? I'll teach you some really cool tricks. So, excuse me. So, again, as we push up, this is the key thing I want you to understand. They sell or buy just enough to not disturb the move, right? And what you will see as it goes up, in this case on the buying amount as it goes up gets smaller, smaller, so smaller, 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 smaller over a range. It's usually, well, on the NQ, we'll probably say about 35 points, 30, 35 points. And by the time it gets to the top, there's nothing left to buy. So they've, over that entire range, they've sold just enough to keep it going up. Everyone's buying, but they're selling just enough to stop the move. And then they've taken all the inventory that's up there. Inventory by meaning people buying. They've taken that on as sells. They've sold into it. And there's nobody left to buy to move this auction higher. That means business is now done here. There's nothing left to do. So if there's no buyers at a specific point in an auction, there's no more buyers or sellers left at a specific point in an auction, the market has to reverse up or down to go find where people want to do business, right? When we get to these prices where we reverse, it's basically just unfair prices. Price has rejected there, right? Or a large buyer or seller has taken on all the inventory there and we can't do any more business. So then naturally we have to move where people want to do, right? The market's in the business of filling orders, right? So if it can't fill orders at a certain place, it has to go find where it can go fill orders. That's the nature of the auction, right? But they do such a good job hiding what they do that, that you got to have tools like this, right? You have to be able to see what is going on, right? And yeah, let's get into it. All right. So in this situation, we're gonna play it in real time. It'll be two 10-minute candles. You're gonna see another strong 10-minute candle here. We'll analyze it. We'll let it play. We'll analyze it just on the tape as it pushes up, and then we're gonna see a massive absorption, and you're gonna see this thing just tank. And what you're gonna see is exactly what I spoke about. Okay, you're going to see the buyers the sellers just all of a sudden just start engaging huge, right? And we'll really break it down. So let's play it, and let's just watch what happens here. So we'll watch this on a 2-speed, okay? So as you can see, we open, we had this real strong buying. There's good consistent buying, 334, 286, 434. There's constant buying enough to keep this thing going, right? Just nice and happy, price is happy to go upwards. Opens right over our level, they immediately buy the level. So right here, order flow wise, this is strong buying. This is strong, consistent buying. Okay. You don't want to short this, right? These are all just buyers are overpowering the sellers at every level here, and we're just consistently being bought up. Okay. Bit of a bid imbalance right there. They kind of slid in some good size there. I see a nice positive 1336 bid right here. So we'll keep an eye on that as we come down, but let's keep letting her go. No sign of anything, right? Okay, see this guy right here? Now a seller has stepped into the auction. You see how price moves into him and he just rapidly took on that inventory? Like everything was looking great. We're like, we're going up. And then all of a sudden this guy just starts going, right? Everything was great on the buy side. And now we've got a negative delta here, 146 contracts. This guy came out of nowhere and took all this inventory. Pretty interesting. So we got to keep an eye on him. So there's your seller. Now, that's nothing yet. Okay, but we have him on the tape. You can see him on the tape. See how we popped into him a couple times. We're pulling off him. Now we're going to pull back down into this bid. We'll see what's there. So when I watch bid refreshes, see how we dropped into here? So I'll watch this 317 and this 1510. I'm going to do these things start increases, or do the sellers start chipping away at these numbers? 317, 290, 260 sale. The sellers are selling. 330. Now the buyers are adding back. 443, 501, 470. Sellers are right here trying to pound into it. Okay. Buyers kind of winning that. So I'm just going to speed this up a little bit because we're going to focus on the next candle. Okay. Sellers winning that battle, pushing through that bid, and then back into it. Everything's going to happen on the next bar. Okay. We'll let this candle close. Got some good espresso going. I need it. I got kids. Right. 4 minutes left here to go on this candle. Well, a sped up 4. Right. So we had a pretty good offer that came in here and absorbed this inventory. This is more of a very aggressive offer. He just showed up there and said, take it all and then push it down. You can see a lot of sellers here are down here now. Move this over. Now we got some levels to refer. All right. 640. Right. So we're back up into this offer. See that? They bought it back up. We're back into this offer. This isn't even a really big offer. It's not that big. And then as soon as we hit this, you see a lot of people bought this new high. It's 415 contracts. A lot of people are just like, yeah. So if you drew this line right here at 64.25, you say, okay, 415 contracts here bought that tiny little breakout. And you can just see who's transacting where. You know the breakout buyers, right? You can judge their strength. Okay. Okay, so now we're coming to we got 25 seconds left on this close. This is a nice strong bar, right? But what happened right here? This is stuff that I talked about. Sorry, you can hear my kitties having a good time. We made a new high right here, and there's nothing to bid into 680. Only we went 3,600 contracts bought, 1,800 contracts bought, 26 contracts bought. There is a very weak bid here. Okay, you're going to see something really cool coming up next. You're going to be able to see how breakout buyers buy the tape and how breakout buyers get absolutely torched. Okay, so nobody bought here. So over my 687, very important level, by the way, shameless plug. Over 687, you're going to see how many people kind of buy a breakout over 700, right? And you're going to see the bids come in. So when we start bidding over this new high here, you're going to see a bunch of bids come in. And I want you to really pay attention to how the inventory comes in behind the bid and gets it. All right, this is key. Here we go. We're going to slow it down here. We'll watch it at 2x. Okay, so we can walk our way through it. We don't want it long there. Okay. So now watch here, right? Over 75, 76. We'll try to make this new high. Watch this. Watch what happens. I'll pause it at certain situations because I want to point out things. Okay. So watch as we try to make new highs. Function down here. You see them trying to kind of bid here around 58. Right? They're trying to bid a little bit higher. It's not much there. Get better bid support here down around 620. So when this pushes back down like this, I'm trying to see if there's a weak offer that they can't push down that the bid's try to step up and absorb. So there's your 650 bid right there that we dropped there. Not able to do much business below it here. Tap, 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 tap. Now we're curling back up. Okay, so now let's watch these breakout buyers. Nope. Okay, so you see how we're barely getting over 75. We're barely making a new high here. I'm talking about 5 points. This is how you could really break it down. 400, another 447. This is decent buying. 223, 323, 447. There's decent buying as we push up, okay, through balance. Can they keep it going? More new high, right? More new buyers buying new highs, right? Now watch. All strong buying. Look at the buying coming in here. Oh yeah, let's go. Fucking woo. Let's go, baby. Buy the breakout. Okay, good buying. Okay, so here's 700. Get into our level. Good strong buying coming in. Little pop there, little bit of a weak bid as our first little snifferoo comes in there. Start paying attention to the delta in here on both sides as we push up. Right now, it still looks really strong, right? Yeah, you got some negative selling going in here, but overall, the up move here is fairly strong. Okay, look at what's going on here. Look. Negative 195 plus 296, negative 380, or plus 380, negative 701. Start watching these numbers here. Watch on the sell side as they keep hammering the bid, right? But they're selling just enough as we start going up, and they're going to really start to take on some size here. Watch. High. Look at that negative. Okay, look. Him right here. Negative 1,008. Okay. 68 over 1106. Okay, watch if he catches up to this 1478. This may seem complex. It's not once you watch it 100 times. It becomes totally natural. You know exactly what to look for. You'll understand exactly what's going on. Really pay attention to this. So now we're buying, our side by side's going, yeah, buy, but you see we have this little weak print here. Now we have this negative delta here. This diagonal delta now is starting to kind of show itself. So it's like, okay, side by side's all positive, but diagonal's delta's negative, but it's a lot larger on the negative side. 1529, 1220, 656, 400 or 500. Drop in. Now it was negative 1100 or whatever. Now it's adding back. See how they're adding back here now? They tried to buy, they're adding back here. Went down to like negative 700. Now it's back down to a negative over 1K. 970 over 700. 2057, 2066. This is now pretty much equal, right? There was a difference before that. The sellers are starting to take over more aggressively now. The tape is starting to change. You guys see this? Go back and watch the video. Actually larger than the offer, right? This positive side-by-side delta is now negative 9. A shift. Watch it continue to develop. Hey, we're getting heavier now. Let negative 1100. Now we're negative 1400. Now watch what happens here. New high. Okay. When you see this absorption start taking place, I'm always looking for that new high, right? Or new low. I want to see a weak buy print. And this is the key thing that I look for. I look for volume dropping off as an inventory absorbed business is done. Watch this buying. Okay, look at this. 2,300 contracts bought, 1,300 contracts bought, a little bit of a drop, and then a massive 1,828 contracts bought, 1,500 contracts bought, 2,600 contracts bought, 1,800 contracts bought, 70. There's a big drop off here on this new high. Okay. There's a reason why they're selling here at 720. Into it. That's for members. There's some key stuff that I know. Okay. This new high, there's nothing to buy. So we have a massive drop off. Watch it. Watch these numbers. Now, we are starting to pull away. At this point, I look at this and go, there's nothing to buy into 720. How many long retail chart traders are long over 700? 3, 5, close to, I don't know, 5,500 contracts long buying the breakout. Bought a breakout here and bought a breakout here, right? A lot of times I won't draw this line, but I'll mentally draw that line in my brain. I'll just do quick math in my head and go, how much inventory do we got offside here? Right? So this is offside traders for me. This is 700 breakout buyers, chart traders, the weakest traders there are. We can immediately take advantage of these traders and sell this based on the inventory and the tape that we saw. There's nothing to buy here unless this market comes back up here and starts drilling 720, and it could, but at this moment in time, it's telling you that it can't. Okay. And then we continue higher. But everybody who bought this doesn't know that there's no inventory to buy into 720. An order flow trader will know this. We will know it before everybody else. Okay. Here we go. Watch what happens. So at this point, there 700 longs are just praying that enough bid comes in to help them. Look at this, man. Look at the work. Look at the work the algo is doing here. The algos are doing. Every time we tap 7, they're now loading the boat. 4,113 contracts long, basically at 700. 4,164 contracts short. You see how tight to the count that these algos get? They can literally match contract for contract. That's how freaking fast they are. When we came down here, when this pulled back up in here, they stayed right with it. The sellers, they just like, as much buying was going on, they were matching it. And you can tell because the side-by-side delta is only a negative 51. So it's like sitting right there, right? There's no movement. They're like buy, nope, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, right? It's incredibly well programmed. Right, now let's watch what happens. So now we got all these long suckers above 700. Let's see if the market decides to run stops. Uh-oh. Now what I watch here, if this market's going to start going down, I start watching these bigger numbers and see if these things even attempt to bid, or as we come down, if they just start getting sold through. So like, 215 goes to like 150, or it moves so quickly they don't even bother bidding, because they realize they're in trouble now, right? There you go. That's inventory absorption. That's a strong push. Sellers engaging, taking on the inventory, nothing left to buy, business is done, trap traders, inventory absorbed, market reversal. It's a beautiful thing, man. And I see that all day long. You just have to know what you're looking at. So look at this. Watch this. 185, 175. Watch this all in here. Ooh. So as soon as we come up to here, is there any buying going on? I'll watch these deltas. Wow, negative. Wow, 60, 100, 70. They tried to buy that. Wow, look at this. It's going negative. Whoa. Yeah, they're aggressively selling here now. See that? Yeah, they're drilling into these side-by-side delta. Oh, wow. Back into the bid here at 50. So these are 50. Those are obviously some stops below 50 here that could take us down to like 620. See that? And now you got some really aggressive slammers into 40 here. The delta really, they came down into 50 men and they just started drilling this. And that all stemmed from all this absorption. Everything that I talked about on the notes, everything happened. And it happens every single day. Not just once or twice, almost like every 10-minute candle, 30-minute candle. You will see this stuff, right? You have to know what you're looking at, and you have to know how to trade. It takes a lot of screen time, but I'm telling you, it's the most valuable skill you can have, because you're going to see it for everybody else. Not only that, is you're going to understand exactly what's going on and exactly what happened and exactly where the stops are and exactly who's buying where and exactly where the positioning is. Okay? So I'm not some guy who's yelling at a cloud. This is real deal stuff. Okay? And then if we let it run, you can just see we're selling here. We'll see if we make a new low here. We'll see, gauge the prints here below 27. Right, we got some decent bidding here. That starts here right about 23, 25. 2.5 minutes. We'll see how this candle closes. We do have some bid support here, about 7,000 contracts here rotated into 20. But price went into our rejection levels, as we always look for price to reverse in here, and we got a hell of a confirmation right there. Came into this bid support here. We're trying to reclaim this level. We're trying to close back over 38. Try to hold this level for the next auction. This is what they're trying to do. See how they're parked out right on my level? See, there's so much business going on directly right at 38. It's a really heavy low. We'll see if the sellers can move it here. Otherwise, these sellers who are slamming the lows of this can get pulled up on. So when you get really heavy, yeah, see what I mean? 30 seconds to go in the auction. We'll see if they close this bar and hold it as support. If that's the case, they could try to rotate back up towards 687 again. Wow. Look at the tape here. 3, 2, 1, new low. There we go. What did I tell you? Oh, the algo wants to trade it. All right, so now you got your sellers that are parked right here on the tape, right at about 45. So boom, into the offer. A lot of people buying here, right? So they bought right into the offer, right? Closed right into this bid right here. And as you can see, we literally closed a candle at the top of the bid. This 54.96 here, where my mouse is, right here. Yeah, this candle closed right here. The other candle opened right away, and they protected that positioning. It's cool. Market respects it, man. You just got to learn it. Here we go. You're buying, trying to buy over this offer. We've got some decent thin prints here. We could rotate back up to here, but we'll probably encounter some selling here. This initial pop. See if like this kind of refreshes as soon as we get there. There we go. 6.5 right there. We'll watch here where they first started selling. There, right there. What? I told you. There you go. So what? So this move started right here. This absorption started right here, right? The bottom of the offer is right here. Okay, right here. This is where they started, 57.25. It seems odd, but it's not, right? 50 breakout buyers start selling at 57, makes right? Went up, pushed down. So the move started, distribution started right here. So now I'm going to watch as price pushes into it. You also got IB high sitting right here. It literally went to the tick here at IB high, but they started selling into it, right? So the tape confirmed that. So there you go. I won't drag this video on too long, but there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples I can go through this happening, and I'll keep doing them one by one and break down these absorption injections on both sides of the tape. The buy-in is just the inverse, right? And if you guys like it, I'll just keep going. If you want to learn more of this, there's a nice free section there in the Discord. Just come drop in, man. And you'll learn a lot of stuff, right? And if you like it, stick around. I can teach you a whole bunch more stuff. But other than that, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, maybe a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep this good stuff going here. Adios. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you. God bless y'all.